another episode of The Feeling is Mutual. I am Tracy Bedeker, Vice President of Marketing at First Federal Savings Bank, and I am so excited to talk about a very timely topic. As you may not know, October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and we at First Federal Savings Bank take this very, very seriously. So protecting you and your accounts and your identity is so important to us. So with me today, we have LEANN Whitney, who is our resident expert in this field. So I'm going to have LEANN do her own little introduction. So
All right. Well, thank you very much, Tracy. I'm LEANN Whitney. I've been at First Federal Savings Bank since 1998, which is a really, really long time. That is pre Y2K, even in technology circles. Run the IT department and operations department here at First Federal. And hopefully, I can expound some knowledge about cybersecurity and cyber fraud to our audience.
yes, I am sure you will. And I know that we've probably talked a number of times because I've clicked on things I shouldn't have clicked, and I'm like, uh-oh. So it's easy to do, but I think it's it's a prevalent topic right now. And not only just because of this month, but I think it's prevalent 12 months out of the year.
Yep.
But I know we talk a lot about scams.
Yes.
So I know you are very proficient in the three major scams that most people encounter. So why don't we talk about the first scam that's like most people see?
You're right. There are a lot of different scams out there. Scams come and go. Those criminals are trying something new every day.
They're shady.
They are very shady. One of the most prevalent scams that we're seeing right now is a romance scam. And in this type of scam, a criminal uses a fake online identity to reach out to you, to an individual, get to know them, sometimes in a romantic way, sometimes in a platonic way as friends. They're experts at manipulating people. And, we all are inherently trusting people. And we all inherently want to have a community around us. And we enjoy those friendships. Well, they prey on that, and then what happens is generally, as that friendship develops, they will start to ask questions about what you do for a living. They will express interest in coming to meet you. They'll maybe tell you about personal things like medical issues that they have, and they build on that relationship,
Which are untrue.
Yes, they're building that up so that they can ultimately ask you for your assistance, either by sending them money so that they can get a passport to come and see you, or an unforeseen medical expense, something like that. So if you have an online relationship, well, that is totally okay. If you start to be asked for funds, if you start to be asked for your bank information, your login information to join into some type of real estate contract, something like that, those are your red flags that you are in a romance scam. Almost 100% of the time, these types of situations are a scam, unfortunately.
Exactly. And I think you hit on a lot of great points. I mean, I think we are inherently very trusting.
Yep.
And just reiterating what you said, that online romances are perfectly fine.
Perfectly
But
fine.
when it begins to the point where they're asking for money or asking for personal information,
Right.
that's when we really have to be careful.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, never give that information out to anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. Especially somebody you've never met in
Right.
person.
Right, exactly. Great tips. So I know there's another one out there too, and this one always cracks me up. And I'll let you talk about the second one.
Well, the second really, really prevalent scam that I want to talk about today is a phishing scam.
And it's not
And it's not a
fishing.
phishing with an F scam, it is phishing with a PH. These scams are actually designed to trick you into giving out your information, whatever your personal information is, whether it's account information, family, medical, financial login information. Generally, the way a phishing scam works is it's an email that gets sent to you with an attachment or with a link in it where they're asking you to fill out the attachment and send it back, to click on this link and fill in this information. And once they've got that information, they use it for whatever their criminal enterprise is using those for. There are some red flags that you can look
I
out
was just
for.
going to say, a lot of those times, those emails are really hard to decipher. I'm always like, do I click on it? No, yes.
They are. They can
So
be very hard to decipher. First of all, biggie, were you expecting the email? If you were not expecting the email, if you don't have a relationship with that company, if Sam's Club is emailing you to renew your membership and you don't have a Sam's Club membership, delete the email. If it is expressing some urgency, if the email is saying, do this now before your account is canceled or before your subscription is canceled, the urgency that they put in there is for a reason. That can be a scam. Look for misspellings or hover over the links that it's trying to have you go to and look at it and look at the website, and make sure that it's actually that company's website. And as you mentioned, sometimes you just don't know.
Right.
So stop. Don't click. Contact that company that you have a relationship with.
So pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. Don't call the number in the email.
Yes.
Don't respond to the email. Open up your bank statement, open up your cable bill statement, whatever. Look at the contact information on there. Call them and ask them if they sent you this email. If they did, great, you can continue. Most likely they did not. So watch out for phishing scams. Those are a biggie.
And then another sign too, can't you go to the URL and it's always something kind of funky, a lot of
Yes,
it's
yes.
not
And sometimes there are some embedded links that look kind of weird. But in general, when you hover over those links, or you look at the email address, they're pretty telling that it's a legitimate email.
Okay.
Like I said, all else fails, reach out and contact the company in a different way to verify before you do anything.
Okay. And then and we'll talk about it when we wrap up, but because my question was, what do we do if we click on that link and go, uh-oh, I don't think I should have done that. But if you want to wait until the end to maybe wrap all of that up, we can do that.
Yes.
And then we have another very prevalent fraud that goes on.
Yep, a last one that I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of different types, but I'm just going to stick to some of the most prevalent ones that we're seeing today. And the last one is debit card or credit card scams. Your credit card information can be taken in lots of different ways. There's data breaches that happen on a day-to-day basis. The company you buy your concert tickets from, or an online reseller of products, that type of thing. They can unfortunately be taken advantage of and have a data breach, and your credit or debit card information is most likely the information that they're looking for. So that is one of the primary ways that we're seeing individuals being scammed, is through credit card or debit card fraud.
I mean, if you think about it, if so many people are online, and that's how we purchase items, is we give our credit card or our debit card out, and we're just kind of here you go.
You can also, fall victim by way of, a skimming device that's put onto, a gas station
Explain
terminal.
That. Skimming.
So a skimming device is a physical device that is placed over the top of a credit card terminal, or like at a gas pump, where you insert your card.
I had that happen at a gas pump.
Yes. So you put your card in, and when you put your card in, it actually reads the card information off of there. And generally, every time it's also accompanied by a pinhole camera that is capturing your 4-digit PIN number by video as you're
Oh my
entering
gosh.
that in.
This is
So
crazy.
yes, they're sneaky. They're good
This
at
is
their
crazy.
jobs. But so there's lots of different ways that you can have your card information stolen. You can also give your card information out to somebody for, a friend, a family member for one purchase. Well, when you've given it out, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, you should be protecting that card information in the same way that you would protect
Mm-hmm.
your bank account
Mm-hmm.
itself.
And I think it goes back to, like we always tell our customers, pull up your statement online, look it over, because that's your best source of protection, is monitoring what your purchases were or your debits and credits and making sure they all match up.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing with your bills or your credit card statements. You have to open up those envelopes.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
open up the envelopes.
Yes, you have to be watching.
It's
out
not
for
like
your
grandma.
history.
I don't think a $20 bill is going to come out of there. But
No, it's
geez.
not. It's not fun, but a quick glance can save a lot of hassle.
Right.
It can save credit issues. It can save, funds or information lost.
Okay. Very
So,
good.
yes.
I mean, these are, it's kind of a little scary, but they don't need to be scary.
Nope.
They don't need to be scary, because I think we talk so much about the negative, but there are a lot of things that I know our bank and you are behind the scenes implement so that we monitor. And I don't think people really understand how well, as a bank, we really do try to thwart these instances from growing. So what are some things that we can do to prevent and protect some of our most precious accounts that we have here? We've saved for years and years.
Right. We do work very diligently within the bank to provide security and protection for our customer and their account information. There are some things that customers can do to help us out with that. First of all, enroll in online banking. And if you have a credit card, enroll in their online portal. But enroll in that online banking and immediately go and set up real-time alerts. We provide real-time alerts. Some of them are standard security alerts, such as you receiving a notification if you have a password change or if your email address is changed. Those are some red flags. If you receive a notification that your email address on your online banking was changed, that's something that you should really be paying attention to. Other alerts that you can enroll in include low balance alerts. So alerts that let you know when your account funds
I
are
think
getting
mine
low.
goes off quite a bit during the
Right.
day.
Or high dollar transaction alerts. If you have an account that, say a savings account, and you don't generally have a lot of withdrawal activity from that account, it would be pretty telling if you received an alert that there was a significant withdrawal from that account. So setting up those real-time alerts is a huge way to protect yourself. As you mentioned, we do have a lot of fraud protection that are built into our products.
Absolutely.
So for our debit cards, we actually have fraud protection that's built in and scores every transaction that happens, and would potentially decline a transaction, at least temporarily. And then notifies a customer asking whether or not they'll get a phone call asking whether
I've
or
had
not.
that happen many, many times.
Yep. So was this you that did this transaction? One of the things that our customers can do is they can enroll in our fraud text alerts. The benefit of that is they're getting the same fraud mitigation coverage, but instead of getting a phone call, they get an immediate text message instead, which in these days and age, we have a tendency to look at and respond to text messages way more quickly than a phone call, especially a phone call from an unknown caller.
Exactly.
So you can be standing in line at Walmart and receive a text message asking if that Walmart transaction was you. And if you respond immediately and say yes, then you can retry the transaction and it will go through.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a couple of different
Yes.
ways. And then lastly, specifically for cards, is card controls within our
Oh, I
mobile
love card
banking.
controls.
I love it too.
I never thought I'd ever hear myself say that.
Right? I don't need controls on my cards, please, but I do want these controls. So within card controls, you can set up limitations for you can turn your card on or off completely. You can set lower dollar value transaction limitations than our standard limitations. You can also set up alerts within that card control, which will alert you every time your card is transacted upon. So card controls are huge to have in place. So knowledge is power.
Yes.
Information is power, and it's all real time. So
You know, a
that's
lot
what
of
it is.
times I love the card control because a lot of times I will take my debit card and just take my debit card somewhere, or like if I'm golfing, or I'll just put it in a wristlet or something. Or if I take it somewhere and I remember, I'm like, oh, I don't have my card. So when you lose your eyeglasses or something, the card control, that's usually what I use mine for. When I know I misplaced it, I immediately go on and put that lock on my debit card.
Great idea. Absolutely.
So yes, a lot of great tips.
Yes.
So those are all very practical tips. So we talked about the different scams. So we're all human. So I think the minute we know we did a oopsie or I shouldn't have done that, what should we do? What's the first thing we should do?
The first thing that you should do is not beat yourself up. A lot of people have so much pride that they are almost embarrassed that they don't want to acknowledge that they made a mistake, that they fell prey to a romance scam, or they clicked on a link in a phishing email. But the first thing you want to do is acknowledge that it was a scam. And that you were a victim of that scam. So acknowledge that. If it's related to a credit card or a debit card transaction, immediately do as you had suggested and turn that card
Yes.
off. And if it is something related to your online banking, immediately change your password for your online banking.
Okay.
So the first thing after you acknowledge that it happened is that you want to freeze out and not let those criminals continue to have access to your information. You want to lock that card. You want to reset that password on those accounts.
Not another password to remember.
It's worth the grief that you go through. And then you want to reach out to us. You want to let us know that you have fallen victim. All of our staff at First Federal Savings Bank have been trained and know how to guide you through the process of recovering from one of these types of scams, or stop it from happening in the first place. We also have a great page on our website. It's a security page that provides lots of tips and tricks, provides links to different toolkits that you can access for if you think that you've been a victim of identity theft. So some great tools there. But first and foremost, reach out for help.
I completely agree. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
But that is the first thing you're like, oh no, what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do? So I know we were laughing a little bit about the passwords. And I myself have a handy dandy little password notebook that it's like my third child, that if I leave it somewhere, I think
we need to fix that. Let's fix that.
So we need to fix that. So what are we going to do to fix this, Leanne?
We are going to give you a secure place to put your passwords.
So during the month of October, we are obviously focusing on cybersecurity. And so I myself have a lot of passwords. So we are going to be giving away 3 password safe. So can you explain what a password safe is?
A password safe is just that. And this is actually happens to be an electronic device where you can use this just to enter in all of the passwords that you currently have written in your notepad. Your physical notebook needs to go away. It is not secure. The benefit of one of these is that it is also password protected. So nobody is going to get access to all of the passwords that you've put into this password safe or
Okay.
vault.
So only me.
Only you.
Okay.
So it's a great device to keep at your desk at work, to put into your purse, to have in your car glove box, just to have handy for all of the different passwords that we all have in our life now.
Okay. Well, it's I think a very good thing to have.
I think it's great. It's a great tool. It's absolutely better than your notebook.
Oh, I don't know. I love that notebook, but I'm
It's time to let it go.
I know I gotta let it go. So we will be giving away 3 password safe during the month of October. And all you have to do to enter is go on our Facebook page. We do have a post up there where we would love for you to comment, and we will select 3 people from the comments that caption the photo that we have out there. So, yeah, we're excited. And Leanne, I know you have a lot of great information to share with us during the month of October.
Absolutely.
Please, everyone, keep yourself safe online. We are here to help you, and I will reiterate, we're your first line of defense. So we're here to help, and we're here to protect you in your accounts and your money. So thank you, Leanne.
Anytime.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of The Feeling is Mutual, and we will see you the next time.